a macabre journey through history's darkest punishments. Imagine being punished by being sewn into a sack with a snake. That's just the beginning of our journey. Humanity has devised a chilling array of punishments throughout its history. These methods, designed to inflict pain, humiliation, and ultimately death, offer a glimpse into the darker aspects of our nature. From ancient rituals to medieval devices, we will unearth the stories behind these brutal practices and explore the social and cultural context that gave rise to them. Prepare to be shocked, disgusted, and utterly captivated by the sheer cruelty that humans are capable of inflicting upon one another. Before we dive into this list of horror, hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe for more spine-chilling historical facts. Ancient Rome's justice could be as unforgiving as it was unusual. The poena culi, or penalty of the sack, involved sewing a person into a leather sack, sometimes with animals, and then throwing them into a river. This ancient Persian torture, also known as the boats, involved trapping a person between two boats and leaving them to be slowly devoured alive by insects. In ancient Assyria, flaying wasn't just a punishment, it was a spectacle. Victims were skinned alive, their peeled flesh displayed as a gruesome warning to others. Chapter 4. Rat Torture, a Gnawing Terror. Imagine the horror of being trapped with a starving rat. During the Middle Ages, this fear was a reality. Chapter 5. The Brazen Bull, Screams of the Damned. This hollow bronze bull, designed in ancient Greece, became a gruesome oven for its victims. Their screams, echoing through the bull's nostrils, were said to sound like the bellows of the beast. Chapter 6. The Iron Maiden, a Spiked Embrace. This iron cabinet, often mistaken for a medieval torture device, likely dates back to the 18th century. Regardless, the image of its spike-lined interior is enough to send shivers down one's spine. This ancient Chinese practice, also known as slow slicing or death by 1,000 cuts, involved the methodical and excruciating removal of flesh from the body. The breaking wheel, a brutal form of public execution, was used throughout medieval Europe. Limbs were systematically broken on a wheel, leaving the condemned to a slow and agonizing death. This pear-shaped device, inserted into the mouth or other orifices, could be expanded to inflict unimaginable pain. Chapter 10. Boiling Alive, an Agonizing Demise. As if being burned alive wasn't horrific enough, some unfortunate souls in the Middle Ages met their end by being slowly boiled in oil or water. Sawing in half brutality beyond measure. The image alone is enough to turn one's stomach. This horrific practice, employed in various regions throughout history, involves suspending a victim upside down and sawing them in half. Cropping, a mark of shame. In England, the removal of one's ears, known as cropping, served as a permanent mark of shame and humiliation. Hanged, drawn, and quartered. The traitor's fate. Reserved for the most heinous crime of treason, this gruesome execution involved hanging, disembowelment, and dismemberment. Tarring and feathering, colonial humiliation. This brutal form of public shaming, common in colonial America, involved pouring hot tar over a victim and then covering them in feathers. The heretic's fork, silencing dissent. This simple yet effective device, favored during the Inquisition, was designed to prevent victims from speaking by piercing the chin and chest. The Spanish tickler, ripping flesh from bone. This claw-like instrument was designed to tear through flesh, causing excruciating pain and leaving victims disfigured. Keel hauling, dragged beneath the waves. A punishment favored by pirates and navies, keel hauling involved dragging a victim under a ship's hull, often resulting in severe injuries or death. The Judas cradle, a pyramid of pain. This pyramid-shaped seat, designed to slowly stretch and tear the victim's body, was just one of many horrific torture devices employed during the Middle Ages. Brank's bridle, silencing the gossips. This iron mask, often fitted with a tongue spike, was used to punish gossiping women, effectively silencing them and causing great pain. The pillory, public shame, and assault. The pillory, a common sight in European town squares, served as a platform for public humiliation, where crowds could mock, pelt, and even physically assault the condemned. Walking on peas, a painful timeout. This seemingly innocuous punishment, often used on children in Russia, involved kneeling on a bed of dried peas, causing significant discomfort. Caning, the sting of discipline. Caning, a punishment still practiced in some parts of the world, involves beatings with bamboo or rattan sticks, causing severe pain and potential injury. Foot roasting, torture by fire. The Spanish Inquisition employed a variety of brutal methods, including foot roasting, where victims' feet were exposed to fire while restrained. Mutilation for theft, a permanent price. In some cultures, theft was met with swift and brutal justice, often involving the amputation of hands or fingers. In France, offenders faced public humiliation by having their ears nailed to pillars in town squares, serving as a stark warning to others. This simple yet effective torture method, used in China, involved tying a victim to a stone slab with sharp edges, causing immense pain and discomfort. Imagine the terror of being confined to a metal cage, barely large enough to hold a human body. This was the reality for victims of coffin torture. The whipping post, public lashings. The whipping post, a common sight in the United States and other parts of the world, served as a platform for public floggings, often for minor offenses. The knee splitter, crushing bones. This aptly named device was designed to crush kneecaps, causing excruciating pain and leaving victims permanently crippled. The ducking stool, dunking for witches. This chair, used to dunk suspected witches in water, was just one of many methods employed to identify and punish those accused of witchcraft. The Spanish chair, roasted alive. This metal chair, heated over an open flame, was used to slowly roast victims alive, causing unimaginable pain and suffering. Impaling, a gruesome end. This brutal method of execution, practiced by the Ottoman Empire and others, involved driving a sharp stake through the body, often leaving the victim to die a slow and agonizing death. The choking collar, a slow strangulation. The choking collar, a metal band tightened around the neck, was used to slowly strangle victims or prevent them from speaking. These heavy wooden sandals, chained to prisoners, transformed walking into a painful and exhausting ordeal during forced marches. This iron collar, with its extended frame, forced prisoners to sit face to face, unable to move or rest, causing immense physical and psychological torment. Used as a punishment for rape or adultery, castration served not only as a physical punishment but also as a means of social and psychological control. Branding, marked for life. Hot irons pressed into flesh left permanent scars, marking criminals and outcasts for life. Crushing by elephants, the weight of justice. In some parts of the world, elephants were trained to execute criminals by crushing them, a spectacle that highlighted the power of both the animal and the ruler. Sandpaper whipping, excruciating abrasion. This particularly cruel form of punishment involved whipping victims with sandpaper-like tools, causing excruciating pain and leaving their backs raw and bloodied. The head crusher, a slow and agonizing death. This gruesome device slowly compressed the skull, causing immense pain and ultimately leading to brain damage or death. The boot, crushing limbs. This wooden casing, fitted with wedges, was used to crush legs, causing excruciating pain and often leaving victims permanently crippled. Cropping with iron, a brutal removal. Heated iron tools were used to amputate body parts, such as ears or noses, leaving victims disfigured and vulnerable to infection. Prisoners forced to walk endlessly on a rotating wheel faced exhaustion, dehydration, and often despair. This simple yet effective punishment involved forcing victims to kneel on sharp objects, such as broken glass or thorns, causing intense pain and often leaving lasting scars. The stretching rack, a staple of medieval torture chambers, was designed to dislocate joints and tear muscles, causing excruciating pain and leaving victims permanently disfigured. Cage hanging suspended until death. Offenders, locked in cages and suspended in public, faced a slow and agonizing death from exposure, starvation, or dehydration. Finger smashers crushing bones. These simple yet effective tools were used to crush fingers, causing excruciating pain and often leaving victims unable to perform basic tasks. Burning at the stake, a fiery demise. One of the most iconic and horrific forms of execution, burning at the stake was often used to punish heretics, witches, and other perceived enemies of the state or church. The drunkard's cloak, public humiliation. This barrel-like garment, forced upon those found guilty of public drunkenness, served as a visible mark of shame and ridicule. Nose slitting, a mark of dishonor. Used to punish criminals or cheating spouses, nose slitting served as a permanent reminder of their transgression and a visible mark of shame. Until next time. From the penalty of the sack to the horrors of the breaking wheel, we've journeyed through some of history's darkest corners. These punishments, as barbaric as they may seem, offer a glimpse into the complexities of human nature, the evolution of justice, and the enduring struggle for power and control. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the dark side of history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating content. See you next time.